He wasn't just cheating on her, he was sleeping with her mother, in their bed, while their baby slept in the next room. And it all started with one photo. A photo that was accidentally airdropped to her. Emily and Mark had been married 4 years. One child, Aiden. A soft, quiet life in the suburbs. To anyone watching from the outside, they looked stable, almost enviable. Mark worked in sales, always charming at cookouts. Emily taught music part-time and posted soft-lit photos of their life. Matching pajamas at Christmas, smiling walks through autumn leaves. After Aiden was born, Emily's mother, Linda, moved in. Just for a few weeks, she said. But weeks turned into months, and somehow the house felt smaller. Mark laughed more when Linda was around. They would stay up late together, cleaning the kitchen. Emily tried to ignore it. She was exhausted, hormonal, healing. She wanted to believe the closeness was innocent. Then came the long whispered phone calls. Linda's sudden glow. The way Mark stopped meeting Emily's eyes during dinner, but always smiling at her mother. Still, they played their roles. Husband, wife, grandmother. They baked cookies, took family photos, and posted picture-perfect weekends. But underneath it all, something was off. Something sour. Emily could feel it in her chest, but she couldn't prove anything. Not yet. It started with a vibration. Mark had left his phone on the nightstand. Emily wasn't trying to snoop, but the screen lit up, and 3 words stared back at her. Delete these now. No name, no images, just dread. She picked it up. But before she could open the message, Mark appeared in the doorway. He was calm. Too calm. He took the phone gently from her hand, smiled like nothing was wrong. "You're paranoid," he said. "It's probably spam, and seriously, she's your mother." Emily froze. She hadn't mentioned Linda. Not once. A week later, Emily's sister sent a photo to the family group chat that was meant to be a cute picture of Aiden. But she airdropped the wrong image. It popped up instantly on Emily's phone. Her fingers went cold. It was Linda, wearing Mark's hoodie, curled up on his side of the bed. No one else was in the frame, but it didn't matter. Then, a voice memo played. One she didn't recognize until halfway through. "She doesn't have to know," Linda whispered. "Just don't be obvious. We've come this far." It wasn't just betrayal. It was generational. It was incestuous. And it was planned. Emily didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just stood there, staring at the photo, the voice memo still echoing in her ears. Her hands were shaking, but her mind was quiet. She went to Linda first. "Tell me it's not true," Emily said. Linda blinked once, then smiled. She actually smiled and replied, "You're just tired. You're emotional. We're family. We help each other." Mark was worse. He didn't deny it. He didn't apologize. "It just happened," he muttered. "She needed someone. And you? Emily, you were never there." The floor didn't give out beneath her, but it felt like it should have. Her husband had just confessed to sleeping with her mother, and somehow he made it sound like she was the one who failed them. Emily left the house that night. She didn't pack. She didn't take Aiden. She just walked into the dark with nothing but her phone and a sick, burning certainty that this was only the beginning. Emily didn't go back home for 3 days. Not to sleep, not to speak, not even to see Aiden. She stayed with her sister, curled up in a silent guest room that smelled like lavender and panic. Her world had ended violently. She felt trapped underwater and didn't know which way was up anymore. When she did return, though, Mark was gone. Linda, too. But it wasn't over. 3 weeks later, Mark's lawyer called. He wanted shared custody of Aiden. Emily nearly laughed. The man who shattered her life, who crawled into her mother's bed and lied about it for months, wanted weekends and holidays. Then came the photos. Linda and Mark together at a farmer's market, holding hands, smiling, like they were just another couple in love, like they hadn't burned a family to the ground, like there wasn't a child caught in the wreckage. Worse still, some relatives sided with them. Said Emily was overreacting. Said love doesn't choose boundaries. Emily didn't respond. She didn't yell. She printed the photo of Mark and Linda holding hands, circled Aiden's face in red that was blurred in the background, and handed it to the judge. But what the court uncovered was even sicker. It was the custody battle that cracked everything wide open. The emotional devastation quickly became legal war. Emily submitted phone records, screen captures, and audio from the leaked voice memo. Mark's side tried to dismiss it all as unrelated to parenting. But the judge disagreed. Court documents revealed months of covert coordination between Linda and Mark. Texts arranging secret hotel stays while Emily was out buying diapers, videos from inside the house while Aiden slept, and worst of all, an email from Mark to Linda titled, "When do we tell her it's love?" Emily couldn't breathe when she read it. Tell her. As if their daughter's betrayal was a minor inconvenience, not a complete psychological assault. Therapists were called in to evaluate Aiden's living situation. One child psychologist testified, "The confusion of seeing your grandmother become your stepmother creates identity damage in early development. This is not a safe environment." Emily won full custody, but the victory was hollow, because even with the judge's ruling, the scars were deep. Her trust in people was broken, her sense of home was demolished, and the man she once chose to build a life with now lived in her mother's old house, sleeping in the bed where Emily once fed their son. Some wounds don't scream, but their whispers last forever. Even after the verdict, the pain persisted. In fact, the deepest wounds hadn't even started bleeding yet. Months passed. Emily learned to breathe again, slowly, through music, long walks, and the silence of not being lied to. But healing didn't mean forgetting. Healing meant carrying the pain without letting it rot her from the inside out. Aiden was too young to understand. He called his father Daddy and still asked where Grandma Linda went. Emily never answered. She couldn't find the words that wouldn't scar him deeper. Sometimes in the middle of the night, she'd open that photo again, the one from the AirDrop, the one that changed everything. Linda, in Mark's hoodie, on Mark's bed. She didn't cry anymore when she saw it. Now she just stared. She doesn't have to know, the voice memo had said. But Emily did know. She knew everything. The lies, the planning, the touch that crossed bloodlines. And now she carried that truth like a brand. She once believed betrayal came with knives and screaming matches. But she was wrong. Betrayal looked like a mother smiling too softly, a husband laughing at the wrong joke, a door left slightly open. Although she survived the immense suffocating pressure, it killed who she was, and what was left wasn't the same woman Mark had married. 6 months after the custody ruling, Emily opened her front door to find an envelope on her porch. No stamp, no name, just Aiden's name written in Linda's handwriting. Inside was a birthday card. "For my sweet boy," it read. "Grandma loves you always." Tucked behind the card was a photo Emily had never seen before. Mark and Linda standing in front of a baby crib, smiling, together, like a family. But it wasn't their crib. It was Aiden's. There were rumors that Linda had left town, that Mark had followed her, but no one could confirm where they went. No addresses, no updates. The card was definitely fresh, and the photo was new. And the date on the back, written in faint pencil, made Emily's stomach turn. Due February 9th. And this time, she wouldn't just be grandma. She might be raising his child.